I don't like it.
The most because I wanted to talk to you. Hello, everybody. Hopefully, y'all joining us. Because
But
there's
before
also
you
this
jump into all your
your
Harry Potter
bullshit.
hate, yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah,
hate.
yeah, yeah. I will not hate, but yeah, yeah. You like to go on the fandom a bit about the things they choose to like and dislike, which I'm with you. But before we go to that, first,
Everything is
well,
racist.
welcome everybody. Second, yes, everything's racist. Second, yeah, I went through a rabbit hole on that today. Second, um, Gargoyles. The comic book is going to be season 3 of Gargoyles. So I have an issue with that though. Like and look, before everybody attacks me, I get it. I get it. Well, you should be happy you got something better than nothing. I know. I
Yeah.
know. Eat one. I I hate it because I want the show, and even because they did Buffy, they did Angel, they did a lot of shows and did comic book
Where they
form,
give
and
them another season as a comic book.
yeah, and it's cool and all, and I guess something's better than nothing. But honestly, I'd rather just have nothing and just live on
Be
season 1 and 2 of Gargoyles and forget the Goliath Chronicles ever existed, and be okay with it. Because I hate the comic book. Like I don't know, it's just something for me when something started out as something like a show, and then you're transitioning it for the fans. And I get it, you're doing it for us. But I'd rather just get it greenlit. Like I want to just see more, even like the Avatar stuff, all the backstory that's in. I'd rather just animate and show that to us. Like I don't know. I know I'm being a punk by saying this, but I'm gonna
I
be a
agree
punk.
with you partially because by going to a comic book, hey, uh, it's definitely like limiting the audience in a way because not everybody reads comic books, right? Not everybody
Right.
even feels comfortable going into a comic book store,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
So,
So
so
yeah.
it's like, but also with that, the reason why they try to do these things is like they have not the money to make a show, so they're trying to do something cheap that they can get people still interested in hopes that they are able to like parlay that into another run at a show. And I think that's exactly what the dude. I think that the dude that's doing Gargoyles definitely said like,
Mhm.
if y'all buy this, maybe we'll make more episodes because
Right. And I know it's one of those things that's tough to do because they can't do the Vox Machina thing because the guy doesn't
yeah,
actually own Gargoyles. He just was the
Disney
prolific.
owns Gargoyles.
Oh, right. So we couldn't like do a GoFundMe to be like, oh, hey, because like everybody that watched that show, we're grown adults now. If you came on social media and was like, hey guys, I need you to buy all the toys.
Yeah.
That's their parameter of keeping the show or bringing it back. And I would go buy some shit for it, like because I would want to see it. So
In fact, I think the
I don't
same
know.
guy that does Gargoyles is the guy that does Young Justice too. I think they're
I believe
the
so.
same. I think it's the same Greg Weisman or whatever I believe his name is. And that's just his life, I guess. He just writes good shit and then like, this is good, but it's not toys selling good. You're
Right,
fired.
right, right, right. Absolutely. But yeah, it definitely. Anyway, okay. Then the other thing I had on this was besides Gargoyles being coming back. Um, sorry, 1 minute in. Yeah, sorry. The last thing I had on there for besides Gargoyles coming back was that I am in this spot now where I'm like, I don't think I like certain stuff that I'm not excited at all about the Mandalorian coming out. And I'm thinking
Oh,
Star Wars is crap. It emptied my tank now because I'm like, I remember when season 1 was out, I used to gather the children and we would lay in the bed with me and my wife 6 o'clock in the morning and put it on and we would watch the episode and be like, yes, I have no care. I forgot it was coming out. My oldest was like, hey, we're gonna watch The Mandalorian. And I was like, oh, when does it come out? She's like, oh, it already dropped. And I said, oh, I have no want at all. So you enjoy it on your own, please. Don't wait on
I
me.
vehemently disagree with you on that. I didn't, notice that it came out either. And I was like, oh, it's like my birthday, Mandalorian. And it was good. All right. But I will like agree with you on the fact that like maybe Star Wars needs to scale back their production of stuff a little bit, and because the last 2 years we've had, which is great but also bad, is a gluttony of Star Wars, right? We've had like just
Right,
so
right.
much Star Wars, like we had 4 TV shows, like live action TV shows, or 3 of them at least, and I just growing up, we were excited for the prequels because there hadn't been a Star Wars movie in 16 years or whatever, or I was in
Right.
9th grade. So, as ever old I was, because it came out the same year I was born, Return of the Jedi. So, and then after the prequel series, we had, the Clone Wars, but that was like another 10 years after the fact, So it's like we had time to like digest and debate and have fun with just this small set of stuff. And then we got some more after a while. Now it's like, here's more, here's more, here's more, here's more. You didn't watch that? Well, too bad. Here's more, here's more, here's more. So it's like,
is anybody else getting static, or was it just my set?
I'm getting a little static too. It's Lisa.
And I'm
She's
getting like a banging sound.
Sorry.
And unfortunately, I'll use this analogy again, and Lisa doesn't like this, but it's like eating too much cotton candy. It's like it's good for a while, but then it makes your stomach hurt.
It's not true. that's just a bad analogy because it's just not possible. Cotton candy could never harm you ever. There's nothing harmful about it at all.
I think my nutritionist will disagree.
Nope, it's just a cloud and just pure.
It's just pure cloud. It's what it is. It's just a cloud. There's no sugar in it.
Right.
It's just
terrible
water
analogy.
All right, lay it on us, Jason. Go ahead now. Sorry, I had to get those things off my chest.
So, like, a cool thing that's been happening on TikTok, and this is because, for those who are watching, I am chronically online. I have no life. So I live my life vicariously through people who put things on the internet. But a really cool thing that's been happening on the TikTok, especially since the Harry Potter game came out, people of a certain color, our color, Black people, have decided that Hogwarts is an HBCU. And they have been posting countless strolling videos and stepping videos as they are from the various houses, as if those various houses for fraternities at a HBCU. And it is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life, and I'm loving every single second of it. And I just think it's just so awesome. And in probably about a week, it'll be ruined by some mayonnaise flavored person who's just gonna not get the joke and just take it too far.
Okay, good. I'll let the hot mayo ruin it first before I throw cold water on it. So I'll wait till that. Let me know when it happens, and then I'll follow up on the show.
And there's some people who are obviously people in the community who are obviously a little bit upset over this new trade because it kind of ignores she who not be named's transphobia. But I don't know. I still enjoy the Harry Potter stuff. So it's fun for me.
Also, we gotta fight different battles. Are we really? And I'm not disrespecting anybody trans, because but appreciating a fandom for the fandom or the whatever the thing is. I always feel like you got to separate sometimes the artist from the BS. Like, because in that case, we can't like anything. Every person is flawed. And everybody's probably done some stuff, and all it takes
and everything is racist.
yeah. So, like, let people just enjoy something that is like. Now, if somebody were to go, "Hey, I want to do a step with J.K. Rowling," then maybe draw the line there. Like, you know what? Besides the appropriation, it's the fact that But like, let people just enjoy things that. And I hate saying that because I know it's trans people that got hurt by her comments. And I'm not justifying
and her giving money to
way.
anti-trans, foundations and stuff like that.
Well, and so because I've been recently rewatching Teen Wolf, and that was a MTV show. And at one point, MTV was putting out it was I wouldn't say it's high quality, but it was definitely like high budget. Like they were putting money into the TV shows. It wasn't just the challenge, right? Like MTV used to actually have legit episodic TV shows. And I was just like, what the heck happened to these shows? And I looked, and like Harvey Weinstein was the producer on like every single show on MTV. And I forgot that Harvey Weinstein was like the producer of the Scream movies, which like
a lot of things
love Scream, So and then I was like, so then you kind of go through this whole like, oh shit, do I still support it, like what's all that stuff, but then at the end of the day, like it's not I don't know. You got to pick. I don't know, you pick your limits, I guess, what's perfect for you. And if you personally cannot support J.K. Rowling in anything in the Harry Potter, like the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, then that's fine.
Also, like, I hate to say this, we're too late. She's already rich. If she never made another dollar off anything else, she's still rich.
And she's still influential.
Outside of being in jail, he's still rich.
Yeah.
So at least enjoy the stuff that brings you joy, because you're not going to stop them from being rich. You're not going to stop them from donating money. You're not going to stop them from doing anything in their lives, even with protests, even with whatever. They already have made the money that they need to make to live the rest of their lives and their kids' lives and their grandkids' lives without having to do anything else, guys. Like, so don't cut off your nose to spite your face. J.K. Rowling does not care that you don't support Harry Potter anymore.
She's laughing all the way to the bank. Yeah.
She has no care. She's like, you saw
men can't be women.
It's over. They've already won. The only thing we can do for this point is just use her as a teaching method so our kids don't become rich, transphobic haters. That's it. That's all we can do. That's all we can do.
Though Hassan Minhaj did say that people aren't problematic until they become rich, because I don't think J.K. Rowling was thinking about trans people when she was still on welfare.
Right.
Right.
100%. 100%. You get a voice and a platform.
Also, ethical consumerism in the United States, for one thing, is just almost nearly impossible to do. So, by our existence, we are fucking someone over and supporting some evil human being. I mean, this freaking website is hosted by Jeff Bezos, so there's nothing we can do. So, I mean, there's something we do. We can go live in a fucking, homestead in Alaska and, grow our own food and stuff, but I don't want to do that. But that does lead me to my point, or my next point, and I know Lisa is definitely going to school me on this because I love it. But so during this stepping phase and strolling phase of this Harry Potter thing on TikTok, I've noticed that a lot of Black people claim Slytherin, right? Mm-hmm. And for me, I just think that's a little weird, okay? And I do understand that, fandoms outgrow the source material and all that other good stuff. And me and Jason were talking about this before the show kind of started. But it was just like, everybody in Slytherin, with the exception of like one dude, was a white supremacist. And I was just like, it just feels icky to me. I get that, y'all don't want to claim Gryffindor for some reason. I get that. I don't really give a crap, but it just feels off to me. It's like almost like,
because I'll tell you why they don't want to claim Gryffindor, because Gryffindor are bullies who don't know they're bullies. Slytherin knows exactly who they are, and they're
the bullies that know they're bullies.
They're not necessarily bullies, but they don't pretend to be something they're not. There's no hiding in Slytherin, right? Like, you're Slytherin for a reason. Gryffindor gets to hide under the banner of I'm doing it because I'm so brave, and watch me be brave, and all this stuff. And we all see that the really only true Gryffindor was freaking Neville Longbottom, and all the rest
and
of them
Hermione and Ron. Ron's not really all that mean. Lavender Brown, you're gonna throw shade on Lavender Brown?
Listen to me right now. The only one who stood up, that I will die on this hill, that Neville Longbottom was amazing. I think he's an unsung hero of the Harry Potter books. But we all know why. It very well could have been, we could have been reading Neville Longbottom and the Half-Blood Prince and all that shit. So, yeah. So it's all those things. I just don't believe that just because you're a Slytherin means that you're a bad guy. Like, I absolutely refuse to believe that. Like, there's nothing wrong with being cunning, and there's nothing. And I understand the white supremacists. Okay, I get it. I understand, Jason. But you're talking about a very select group of people. You cannot just say that every single person in Slytherin is a white supremacist, because that's not how it is.
100% agree with you. It's just that the examples that we are given.
Right. Well, number one, you have to think about who's writing, who the source material is coming from, who we already know is problematic. Number two, we talked about the narrators a little bit. You know, you do have it is a third person POV, but it's still from Harry's POV until when it's convenient to all of a sudden get an omniscient. Like the POVs change constantly. Like you have to really read it objectively to see. So when you're seeing when Harry is speaking, when it's actually the omniscient narrator, sometimes we get, you know, other point of views. It jumps around. Most of the time we're getting a view from very skewed, angry, confused child. And the first experience he had with the Slytherin was number one, who ended up becoming his best friend, Ron, saying every dark wizard came from that house. So he knows nothing about wizardry and he gets that. So that already sets the tone for you as a reader and Harry as, you know, as his POV. And then you meet Malfoy, who's a dick. We all know that, like, so.
But everybody else with Malfoy is a dick too.
Yeah,
Crabbe, Goyle.
From there, okay. However, I think if we got an actual POV from Malfoy,
Pansy Parkinson,
we would get something. I just think you're thinking too selective, and you just gotta. I get what you're saying. I just think you're wrong.
I guess here's the problem with all of this is that if all the things you're saying is right, which is probably true, the bigger problem
she's smarter than both of us, by the way. Just let that.
But the problem with all this is that you could be right, but the problem is with all this is that your opinion of that is conjecture because you have nothing to back that with in the books or in the movies.
Here's what we have to back
it's just an opinion of human life, but I mean, it's a fact that pretty much every Death Eater was a Slytherin. It's a fact that majority of the they have a consistency to churn out people who are bad people on a consistent level compared to the other houses.
But also you realize that it wasn't because you're just seeing the select badness. Of course, yes. But never forget, like at the end, Harry named his son after a Death Eater.
Yeah, which is wrong.
And also had no problem telling his son it's okay if you're a Slytherin, but you can pick.
Until they retconned it in the cursed child.
And
also, too, he named his son after a terrible headmaster that was willing to sacrifice him. Harry has terrible logic too.
Yes, so Harry is a terrible, reliable person. So
that doesn't change the fact that other people felt the same way Harry did without him doing. Again, McGonagall, who was with these kids every day for years, was like, lock up all the Slytherins. She didn't say, "Hey, no,
that's wrong. I'm not
you're good
okay
here.
With that.
No, you're here."
Like, I don't think that that's fair. I don't think that it's,
obviously she felt that they would be a threat to freedom.
Even when I read that part, I was like, I can't believe she's doing that. That is extreme.
Well, she did that as a response to one character going, well, there's Harry right there. Let's give him over and let him get killed. And she was like, lock up all these Slytherins. Because it wasn't a Hufflepuff.
I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that. I was
just saying, I would feel like the discretion of a teacher would go, not them. Like, they're not like the rest of them. They could come. Because teachers they weren't in a rush to figure this out. She just did it because it was like, yeah, all those people are fuckers. So get them out of here. Like she could have easily been like left, right. Everybody on the left side, lock up.
Draco and all his friends. Y'all go to the dungeons. Anybody whose mom and dad is out there, y'all go to the dungeons too. But hey, Chris, you cool. I like you, Chris. You can stay. Chris is like, yeah, fuck yeah, fuck down. Ah.
I agree Harry's unreliable, but I think it's, and again, like we said, it can always be poor writing choices. I hate the caping for Slytherin when we have nothing to cape on it with, except for our own personal beliefs about how people function. And we have nothing in the books and the movies show that anybody in Slytherin was on a situation that we felt was like, oh, they're not bad guys. The closest we get is Snape. And the only reason he's at is because he was in love with.
We get a Slughorn because.
Well, I mean Snape in the sense of like he was openly defying the Slytherin way of modeling by hanging out with old girl, Harry's mom. Like he was openly defying their thought process of how they feel about muggles. So like he's the only one that we've seen because even Slughorn didn't want to really rock with Muggles either, unless they
No,
were
he
like
didn't fuck with no
Hermione,
Muggles.
just so exceptional he couldn't deny them. So they had to be like the magical Negro or the exceptional Negro. Like I got to be Michael Jordan to go and get into this room. That doesn't absolve him from his racism. That just says he only likes those type of black people. The other ones, they're gangbangers and welfare kids. So like.
Also, and Lisa, you're definitely gonna push back on this. I saw someone that said Gryffindor was a bunch of snitches, and I'm like, Gryffindor never snitched. Neville, our the bestest boy Neville, was like, "Yo, don't come out this comm room. I'm gonna throw hands if y'all come too close." He didn't go run to the teachers. All right.
Well, they did a spell on him so he couldn't move.
Yeah,
So
but
who knows?
They spelled him. He was like, "I will fight you if I have to." And then they spelled him because they're like, "Oh shit, Neville ain't backing down. Huh? He's a Gryffindor. That's why he got that sword out of the thing." The one people who were snitches throughout the entire novel series, your boy Draco, Pansy, all them Slytherins. They snitched to Rita. They snitched to if we use the movies as example, they snitched to Umbridge. They were constantly snitching to Snape.
The custodian dude, they were always snitching.
They were snitching. They were best friends with Filch, even though which would probably go in their favor of being good people because he's non-magical, and they're like, we love that guy.
Well, I feel like all of them are snitches because there was a lot of white people there and a lot of white people snitched. So I don't think it was a group thing. I think it was just white people snitching on white people.
Also, in the books, at least, there are more named black characters in Gryffindor than in Slytherin. That's my only reason. That's it.
You're treating Slytherin like the Republican Party. It's like 3
They only named one black dude in Slytherin, and there are 4 black people or 3 in Gryffindor.
So I don't know, Jason. Why do you think a lot of black people are claiming Slytherin?
It's not that show.
Lisa, any thoughts on black people claiming
there
Slytherin?
is something inherently cool about Slytherin. I definitely think there is something cool about being I wouldn't even say the bad guy, just like the other kids, right? Like the kids that just like, as Lisa said, they don't give a fuck, right? They know who they are, and they don't know
exactly who they are.
Yeah.
And there's something freeing in that people often villainize, in my opinion.
Except all the ones that were actual villains. I
think also too,
do not kill me.
I think all of it too is the appeal of being the bad guy. Like I see all the people all the time, and me being a Star Wars fan, or at least used to be at that point, everybody wanted to be like a Sith.
Watch these last couple of shows.
Yeah, right. I'm like, everybody wants to be a Sith, and I'm like, what? Why do you want to be a Sith? Like literally, their force powers make them decrepit. Literally, they're fine slaughtering kids in the pursuit of whatever they want. Like, it is no bounds.
Never have any friends
for being a Sith. And like everybody's like, yeah, but I get a cool red light. I get lightning, and I'm like, that again. It's nothing fun about being a Sith unless you just are a fascist that enjoys fascism. But here we are. A lot of people want to be Siths.
I mean, they get to do cool backflips and get double-sided lightsabers. And I guess they fuck too. So I'm just it doesn't seem like it because the only people that canonically have had sex are people who are actually in the Jedi.
Didn't the terrible ones say that Palpatine had a kid? Like
he had a clone.
And he got married. Oh, it was a clone kid. Okay.
Or that's what they say. I don't know. That was bad writing. Oh yeah, you're Palpatine's clone who no one knew about his daughter, and even though nobody knew about this, we know.
Yeah, sorry, Mandalorian 3. I won't be watching. Not joking.
I watched the episode and I thought it was great. Give me more Grogu. Give me all the Grogu. Pedro Pascal is like, even though he's probably not the guy in the suit, like I pretend he is.
We want to start at 26 minutes. I didn't realize we had
26
crept up
minutes.
that quickly on minutes.
I mean, we were ahead of schedule because Lisa didn't say she was supposed to be here until 9, and now we're ready. She was
I
in
know
there.
that band concert was quick.
It's like y'all can hurry it up. Yeah, we get it. Get it. Get in the car.
Get it. Duck your head. And other news going on. Did you hear all the exciting news about Avatar besides the live action? They're supposed to be bringing back the cartoon and supposed to be a movie taking place where Aang is an adult. Like they just gave a bunch of
And then I bet people are going to hate it because Aang finds a plucky, strong-minded woman that he hangs out with that is not a part of the original crew, and then like, oh, it's too woke now, and she's may or may not like ladies.
Yeah.
And she might be a different type of Asian person that's a darker skin. And they're like,
Fair enough.
This woke culture, dang you.
They're all supposed to be white.
Okay, yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Head Canon Circus podcast. Thank you for joining us once again. It's always exciting to have, the thousands of people watch us every single Thursday. I am hosting. My name is Jason. I am the resident geeky black kid that you don't know, or that you know. Thank you all so very much for joining us. Of course, I'm joined by my illustrious co-host. First up, he is the, let's go with, I didn't even think of one this week. He's just really cool. It's Jason. How you doing, Jason?
I appreciate it, man. I was looking forward to the names under my title. I'll start adding them to the info bar, like all the names you give me, just so people can keep up for the future.
And because she was upset that I didn't have one for her, I really thought about this for a long time. And it circled back to our previous conversation. She is the Hermione to our Neville and Harry. It's Lisa. Without the problematic bullshit that Hermione does.
I take it.
Hermione was fighting for the freedom of of the slave class.
Yeah.
And this also
she's literally the only one who cared. I can't.
Yeah, this circles back to why the Gryffindors suck. It's because Ron was like, fuck them guys.
Yeah.
Right.
And Harry, who grew up knowing what slavery was, like, yeah, fuck them guys.
He's like, not now. There's more important things that happening.
Ron giving off like poor white supremacy vibes, like, hey, we poor. We got it tough because of them. Like,
we ain't no muggles.
Right. It felt very like they taking all the good jobs kind of vibe he was giving off there for a moment.
What we did not capture, because let's be 100% honest, because we're just going back to this Harry Potter conversation. All wizards, regardless of what house they were in, have some supremacist tendencies to them.
Yes.
Basically, because let's think about they are willfully ignorant of 95% of the world, or not even 95%, of 99.8% of the world, because they're only like 0.3%.
Yeah.
And I saw another TikTok, because I'm chronically online, where this young lady is doing a skit where she's pretending to be Lily James, and not Lily James, Lily Potter, and Remus Lupin. And Remus is like, I don't know if I'm gonna get a job. She's like, just go get a Muggle job. And I'm like, he can't.
Right.
He has not the skills for it. Even to go flip burgers at McDonald's, he would be completely like, they would not hire him, even to dig ditches. And not saying that dig ditches, you can't, you don't need skills to do it. I'm just saying he doesn't got them. Because those wizards are completely moronic when it comes to the rest of the world. Like, no clue.
Well, I said earlier, like, that Muggle studies is an elective. Like, nobody takes it, it's like a joke class. And just the fact that, remember, Ron's dad, I can never remember his name.
Arthur Weasley?
Arthur
John Weasley the third.
Okay. He is, literally like one of the first things he says is, can you tell me the function of a rubber ducky? And it's like, you have all this history. Like, you live in England where like a lot of history happened. and like you're asking about a rubber ducky, like
And it's his fucking job.
yeah, yeah,
Like, tell me that you're bad at your job.
yeah.
What,
You
a
don't even
man
know
being bad
what-
at a job that he keeps? That's not original.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, he is poor for a reason, right?
Yeah.
It's like they
You
paid
got,
me this only
you got
thing
all
I
them
ball up.
kids. That's why he's poor.
What you need to do is
You
invent a
must
magical
be a
condom.
Weasley.
So lay up off of Molly, man. Leave her alone, man. She's tired.
Oh, God.
I mean, she can't be
Oh,
that
man.
tired. She got magic that folds her own damn clothes, and I.
Yeah, which is like, she is a stay-at-home mom, and I'm not saying that being a stay-at-home mom is easy. It's definitely a difficult job, but she has magic that basically does everything for her. She just hangs out in the house all day, like.
Well, she does have Fred and George as kids, and they probably take up.
But
a lot
all
of
her kids are gone.
time. Yeah.
And think about that. They're in
For
Hogwarts.
most of the year.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh yeah. Maybe
For,
she
like-
does something else that we don't know about.
Maybe she's the one that actually going to like she works at a grocery store and she just does it to have pocket money.
Yeah.
And she's like, I
secretly,
don't know what
like-
any of this stuff
yeah.
is. I don't even know what's working. I just gotta get out the house.
I feel like we talk about Harry Potter a lot on this show.
Sorry,
I
we
mean-
do. It's my fault.
It's the only thing that
Oh, I
all
don't
three of us know very well. I mean, we could talk about Star Trek and Lisa's like, she loves. I mean, I'm not trying to speak for you, but
Yes,
you
I
love
love
Star Trek. But you know, I mean, if you haven't watched the last 4 seasons of everything else, it's kind of lost, right?
Live long and prosper. I will tell you, I can't remember if I said this on the show. So tell me if, oh no, I did last week talking about the MCU and how like, if you hadn't watched it now, like don't even try. Like
God.
just give up.
Jeez.
Just be one of those people who's like, I've never seen a single Marvel movie because you will not know what's going on.
I feel
Like,
sorry for like the babies that are born who are just like, this is this huge global franchise. They're like, I don't know.
yeah, you're gonna just have to pass on that, baby, because
Where do I
you'll
start?
never catch up.
Yeah.
You'll never catch up.
It's like what, 31 movies now plus shows?
I think
Plus all
most
the
of them are
TV
very
shows.
answerable to the most part. Like, I don't need to know nothing about Shang-Chi, the Eternals. I feel like most of them are pretty you could walk into. I mean, I
No.
guess what kind of
You
fabric
used to
you
be
gotta
able
know.
to, but you can't with now. You can't anymore. You used to be
Yeah.
able
Well,
to.
I mean,
Up
even in
until-
Ant-Man and the Wasp, I mean, I don't think nothing was in there that I needed to know more of to grasp it.
Are you talking
Who
about
the fuck-
Quantumanium or
Yeah.
Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Yeah, well, Quantumanium. Like, I don't think I needed
It's a
to know anything
prequel. You would
extra.
have to watch the first 2 just to even understand.
Yeah,
who these
because you
people
would have
are.
to know that. Like, I mean, I know they explained it, but you'd have to know about Scott's history and how he has like
Why?
ice history.
What part?
And
Nothing plays into that. He
Oh
basically
yeah, because
tells
the
you
movie
save the
sucks.
world.
That's why.
Well, I mean, he basically tells you he saves the world. Okay, you assume if you don't know about Thanos, you assume because he's in Hero, he saved the world. Cassie and him talk about the quantum realm, not as if it's something that they have all had been to in numerous times. She talks about it as like, oh, I'm sitting in the beacon, blah, blah. And she even mentions, so if you ever got blah, 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 this is how I could have found it, you guys. So you already assume that, oh, they must have gotten stuff. Like, nothing in
I
there
don't
needs
know.
to be known. Like,
No,
nothing that they
'cause Kate-
said was like
Well,
nothing was said where it was like, oh, what does she mean by that? And you were like, oh, that's because, well, in this movie, they did like everything was almost explained. And I think all of the Marvel movies are like that. Like, they pretty much tell you without
Here's
having
what's
to say,
happening.
watch
Yeah.
watch Ant-Man too. Like,
but I think
like,
that
don't
that's
know.
kind of to its detriment because then you have so much exposition when it should be
I
and it
agree.
should just be but
You should.
but it also alludes to like, hey, remember this time 5 movies ago when we did this, or 3 TV shows ago when King the Conqueror was
Not King the
bad
Conqueror, but another guy.
yeah, like, and they did all this, and then remember like Loki, and remember Owen
I don't know, but
Wilson
see, I
is
don't think
part
any
of
of that-
the.
I don't think you need to know all of that except for the
I-
end credit. But like the movie itself, I don't.
I would agree with Lisa.
I barely
especially
even
with
remember
Ant-Man.
Loki, so I can tell you that right now.
Oh.
I couldn't say what Loki was even about at this
Oh
point.
no,
now,
I
so-
love Loki. I
Honestly,
love
much
Loki.
have rather watched Loki than Ant-Man.
Oh, 100%.
Much
I mean,
rather
even
watch
I
that
think
one
about Thor: Love and Thunder, like even the Jane Foster stuff, you don't really need to know because they do the whole flashback montage. So even
Yeah,
if you don't
they
know
do
about
a
Dark World and
whole-
Thor 1 all the other stuff, like they still pretty much fast forward you up to be like, oh, they used to date. She has a like I don't know. I think that's part of their scheme is that almost every movie you can walk into and.
But I think that's for us because we've seen every movie. But I have people constantly asking me, "Well, what was this? What was this? What this?" Because they only watch certain.
Do they constantly ask you that about every movie? Like my wife asks me that about every movie. It don't got to be a Marvel movie. It's like, hold on, why are they doing that?
No. This is like
asking about movies you haven't even seen yet. Like, why are they doing that?
You know, I have friends who like love the Captain America, so they didn't know like who Ant-Man was or any like they had no idea why Paul Rudd was in Civil War. They didn't know any of that stuff.
Yeah, but that's a different question.
And they couldn't even figure out where it came from. And then,
but that's a different question though, because if it wasn't played by Paul Rudd, they wouldn't care that Ant-Man was there. Like they only care because they know Paul Rudd. And they're like, oh, Paul Rudd's in Marvel. Like, that's
part of it. That's why Marvel does it. I don't know. I just think that it's getting
not a movie beat. That's I like that guy. So why I didn't know this guy was in this thing that I've never seen before. Like, if it was played by Jason, they wouldn't be like, hey, why is that black dude Ant-Man? Who's Ant-Man?
Wait a second. Firstly, I was in Ant-Man.
Okay.
If you didn't notice, apologies. Jonathan Miners was there. Secondly, I totally 100% agree with Lisa on this one. Like, if you hadn't seen the rest of the shit, like I was kind of confused, and I had seen all this stuff, and I was like, wait a second, who's that guy again?
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah.
I was literally leaning over to my teenagers, being like, "What? Can you remind me when did this happen, or did we know this before?"
Well, I guess you guys are saying this, but at what point were you asking? I guess that's maybe where I'm.
I can't remember now. I don't know.
That was 2 weeks ago.
But
even like the
but that was the moment where I realized, oh shit, other people who this is their first movie ever would be really lost, you know, because like I
guess we would never know until we got somebody who never saw any of it.
We should get somebody who's never seen a Marvel movie.
I feel like it's the reverse with Marvel, that if you follow all the stuff, you get more out of the movies than someone who doesn't know. For instance, when he does the magic trick with Oh Boy, like out of context, you would, if you don't watch Marvel, you wouldn't know what the hell that's about. You would just think it's just part of the montage. But because we've watched it all, we know that
he specializes
in. Yeah. He specializes in, like, out of the context of us watching all the stuff, we know why that's like funny. But if you don't watch it, you just think it's just a gag part of the montage. Like, you wouldn't think like, well, why is he doing that? You just be, oh, this must be the montage because the way they set it up. No, I know this is a bad.
You can't appreciate it, I just think they're just doing too much. That's
for those of you who are watching. If you can find a person who's never seen a Marvel film, send them our way, and we can put this.
I'm sure
can put this to the test and find out which one of their theories is correct.
Also, too, it's always gonna be tough with this. It's always gonna be tough with this too, because anybody at this point who's watching a Marvel movie knows that they've probably been told by anybody who told them to watch it at this point that all these movies are connected. Yeah. So every time they don't understand something. And not because the movie won't explain it, but just because initially they don't understand it, they're going to automatically ask, hold on, why is they doing it? Why is he doing that? Mm-hmm. And like, so I think even then it's like trying to find an unbiased jury. Like, you heard about OJ, stop lying. But you want to be with the jury. What we need to do
is go into some like the thicks of Amazon and find some poor like tribal person who's never even like, who's only seen a TV like once. And bring them to America, right? We bring them and we make them watch Ant-Man Quantumania. And like, what do you think about this? Was this confusing?
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, because that movie's confusing. That's why that would be confusing.
Firstly, I don't speak any English. I don't even know what they said the whole entire time.
Let them watch, Civil War would be one where I think you need tie-ins to watch. That would be probably the better one. Like, hey, all right, watch this and what do you think? Are you missing any context here?
It's like, I don't understand this culture whatsoever. I don't get this at all.
Why does the guy have a shield? Why did that guy grow?
Does he like blue and red? It's like this is thing. Like, why doesn't everybody have Iron Man suits? You know what? Really, why doesn't everybody have Iron Man suits?
Okay, it's for real. We got to start the show. It's 40 minutes in.
We already started this shit. We started this shit like 2 hours ago.
Okay.
Yes.
For those of you who are joining us for the first time, and if you're joining us again, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, interact with us, get into the comments. If you disagree with either me or Lisa's or Jason's takes on anything, especially about our little Harry Potter conversation, get into the comments. Tell us what you think. If you think different from either three of us, we'll tell you. Mostly by telling you to look at a certain body part of ours, at least mine anyway. Lisa will be nicer.
Yeah.
Lisa will be
Only
way
you will
nicer.
tell them that.
Also, we have a website now. It is www.headcannoncircus.com. You can drop suggestions for us for things we should review. You can read our blog. You can look at past episodes and comment on them. Interact with us. It would be great. And Jason loves going to get comments from all our various sources so we can read them on the air and talk about them and also tell you to do the thing that I said earlier.
I've been trying to leave like trolley comments, but nobody's responding to
No
me.
one's biting to the obvious troll bait.
Yeah. Like it's just like sitting there. I'm like, come on, guys.
We have a fantastic show for you today. As you've already witnessed, we are just great at what we do. We will be reviewing Cocaine Bear, the latest whatever it is that just came out this week. We will also do a couple of other things. We got another movie called Slayers that is on Hulu. And then we have an anime, which I know that they love. The Spy, is it Spy X Family or just Spy Family?
I think it's just Spy Family.
Just Spy Family. And then we also might play a game too, which is, whatever Jason has in his little bag of tricks that he has. It's hopefully not Lucky Charms.
Ooh.
Well, I'll tell you with my bag of tricks. After Cocaine Bear, we can talk about our top 3 animal attack movies. There you go. That's for people to start formulating in your mind while you're hearing our Cocaine Bear review.
Go ahead and get your noggin ready for that. Also, I want to add, before we get into our reviews here, we are trying to meet a subscriber goal of 5,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
If you could go ahead and share, like, and subscribe and get other people to do so, not only will they give us money, that delicious money, but also if we get to 5,000 viewers or subscribers, Jason and I will go do hot yoga for your entertainment with Lisa. And I'm not in shape. I don't want to do it. I think it sounds like a horrible time. It might be enjoyable to watch me suffer.
Good time.
So
you will cry. The release and the pain will feel so good, and you'll just cry.
I don't know about that.
Last time I cried from a pain release, I was out $300.
Okay. Okay, there it is.
I'm sorry, I have to add that.
That might have been a joke of the night, ladies and gentlemen.
I have a type 5. I'll be here all night. We also have other stretch goals as well. If we get to 10K, what is that? Is that the Taylor Swift episode?
That's the Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift after 10,000.
Oh, yeah.
No, 10,000
no, 10K. You agree with me.
I have to agree with everything she says.
And guys, guess what? I'll just talk about nothing but Harry Potter and Greatest Showman. And
look, I may have to agree with everything you say, but doesn't mean I have to speak. So
that's kind of the rule. That's kind of how it works, y'all.
Make me suffer more. I don't know why all these are making me suffer. But also, if we get to like 15, we'll get to the Taylor Swift conversation, which I will suffer even more from that. She's great. I love her.
Yes.
And then at some point, if we get one more subscriber, they'll mess with my dating profiles, and we'll do that also for your entertainment, because we're not
anything. It's going to be for your good, honestly. We're
my
trying
good.
Yeah.
You know how many hits I get per day? Zero.
Okay.
Nothing.
It's probably because your profile's jacked. You gotta get a nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have like explosions and stuff.
Yeah. I have funny, witty things on my profile. I have a picture of me with a dog. It's not my dog. There's a picture of me with a dog on there.
Is that your profile picture?
No, it
like should be. One. See, this is why we need to be in charge of it. I can't even with you.
That sounds silly.
Sounds right. Ladies like dogs. Ladies like guys that like dogs. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Who in this group is married in a relationship? Who? Raise your hand.
Jason, raise your hand.
Oh, don't call me out.
Okay, thank you very much. So who should you be listening to about your profile picture? Thank you very much.
None of y'all, because
Well, I would say
because firstly,
default to
you
listen to
met
the
your
woman.
husband in high school,
So?
madam.
So
All right, so there is no dating profile, so you don't know nothing. And
And guess
secondly,
what? He loves animals. And he doesn't. I do. And guess who has animals? This girl. So it works. Okay.
and Jason's been married for like 40 years. And
Give or take 3 years out of 40.
3 years out of 40.
Yeah, I had to be born. That's why I'm taking the give or take 2 years out.
I mean, there are some cultures like, hey, you're here, that's your wife. Y'all are going to get married. It's great. All right. Here we go. After a 500-pound black bear consumes a significant amount of cocaine and embarks on a drug-fueled rampage, and an eccentric gathering of cops, criminals, and tourists and teenagers assemble in a Georgia forest. Yeah, I read that. Great. That is what Google says about the movie Cocaine Bear. Now, if you don't know, now you know. For everything we do a 1 sentence review. And since it's no longer Black History Month, Lisa, go ahead and start us off with your 1 sentence review.
Yay. Cocaine Bear. What the F did I just watch? Let's do it again.
Jason, hit us.
This is a bearable amount of comedy, killing, and cocaine.
Nice.
I see what you did there. I gotta say, I gotta tell you, Joe Rogan, I smoke rocks. Let's start with the discussion on this insane movie that we watched. Go ahead, just start off. Lisa, go ahead and tell us what your thoughts are of this thing.
I just need y'all to know that I took my whole family to see this movie.
Damn right.
All right. That seems like a very
it was a family
PSA
event.
on why not to
And,
do
like,
cocaine.
The second those kids were like taking the knife and just like shoving, he's like, how much cocaine should we do? I don't know, a tablespoon. And then just, like, sticks the whole thing in their mouth. I was like, this movie is amazing. It's fun, it's ridiculous. It's good to see a movie that just like doesn't take itself too seriously, you know, and based on actual events, but obviously that shit didn't happen, you know, and it's all just completely one thing after another, completely ridiculous. I didn't know the guy who plays young Han Solo, I didn't know he was going to be in it, so that was a pleasant surprise. And for a minute I forgot that Ray Liotta was passed away, you know, so I just got to enjoy seeing Ray Liotta like on TV in a movie playing a ridiculous character. And then later I was just like, did he die or am I in like the Mandela effect, you know, where I'm remembering something? But no, it was fun. We had this discussion afterwards, like Carrie Russell and her kids kind of served nothing to the plot, but like still loved that they were there.
Time out. Carrie Russell can be in anything she want to be in, all right?
Okay. So my personal assistant agrees.
I don't care if she was in 10 seconds of Mission Impossible 3, and I loved every second of that movie. So she can be whatever she wants. She is fine still after Felicity is
A-okay. She is fucking gorgeous. Yes, she still looks great. Like, yeah, she's amazing. And then, when we had talked about, because we just talked about it, after the movie, and it was, they were there as an important part to show like the son, Ray Liotta's son, saying like, hey, family's important. Like you're so fucking gone off of this money. Like you're literally endangering kids, and you left my son. You left your grandson in St. Louis by himself in front of the TV, like all this stuff. So yeah, no, it was so fun, so ridiculous, so fun.
The funny part was like, no, you left it with me.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
it's your fault.
This is not my fault. It's your fault. Jason, what are your thoughts on this crazy ass movie that you forced us to watch?
Oh well, please, you guys should be thanking me for this one. Now, when we get to our next review, you probably won't thank me, but for this one, look, man, it is what they promote. But I will say this, and I'll start with the bad stuff. It is a little too much fake ass backstorying, as I call it, backstorying. Like they want to give us like these little things to make us feel for these people that we just really just want to see get slaughtered. So I'm always in a firm belief in horror movies where you just go completely terrible, despicable people, or you do people that you actually really rock with, but you still want them to get beat and get killed in creative ways. This one tries to like teeter the line between the two, and I feel like it didn't do it. So I didn't need anything about the mother searching for a daughter, whatever. I needed the drug dealer people because that makes sense because that's how it started. I didn't need nothing about the park rangers. I didn't need none of that stuff, but it did have some good endings on it. But so I enjoyed it. I will tell people the bear is not in it as much as you would think it is in there, which would kind of shock me because I feel like the premise was just very straightforward. You know, put the snakes on a plane, give the bear cocaine. Very easy premises just to go straight forward
and just watch what happens from
right.
there.
But it's funny. It is very entertaining. It's short, which is great because it's refreshing to see a movie that doesn't take 2.5 hours to tell a story that doesn't need that. So no, again, I was here for it, man. Like I said, the only complaint I have is just a tad too many humans, as in like learning about them. But other than that, man, it kills the creative. It's funny. My man even said his famous line, "Shit." So I was happy, shout out to The Wire.
Look, I think Snow Cone, O'Shea Jackson Jr. is like that kid's going places. I think
he's so funny. He's so funny.
He is going places that his father could never have dreamed of, even though his dad's played a cop for like 40 years. This movie is hilarious. It is crazy. Just not even non sequitur because everything kind of follows like some sort of logic to it. So it's not just like, oh, straight silliness. No, there's a bear on cocaine and he's doing cocaine bear shit. Like that's everything from attacking people to lying on his belly and just passing out. It's just like, okay, that makes sense because the bear is on drugs.
Yeah.
Little poor Henry, I enjoyed him the most.
Me too.
He provided a lot of the even though like a lot of the, you could say the kids were useless. They were there to anchor this in some heart or whatever. But like Henry was precious. I enjoyed him. He just his bravado about knowing, I do cocaine. I do it after church.
Right.
Right. And him trying to impress this girl that he obviously has a crush on, skipping school with her and stuff, but only wants snacks.
Yeah. I'm so tired.
Like that kid. And normally I hate child actors. I think they're terrible, but that kid played his part to a T.
Yeah.
And all the surrounding players of this, the YouTube TikTok guy that does the crazy customer service videos. I don't know if y'all ever see this. He's like, yeah, you should leave a tip. You should leave 25%. And he's always, he was in this. And I was like, oh, that's the guy from the thing I watched. And he died horribly. It was great. And a lot of these kills are just fun and imaginative. And it's a silly movie, but it's great to see a silly movie that says it's going to be a silly movie from the outset, and you don't have any high expectations. Don't come in this thinking this is going to be, Hamlet, but it's going to be a fun time. Probably don't bring your babies. I heard like some toddlers in my theater, like they shouldn't be in here. But your teenage children, there's nothing there that they haven't seen in public school.
Yeah, like it was so Jesse Tyler Ferguson, his death was, I think, my favorite. He's the guy who was like the park rangers, like
Oh, the guy.
Oh, yeah.
That was so funny. It's like bears can't climb trees. Of course they can.
Then why'd you climb a tree?
Right.
I love the park ranger. I thought she was hilarious. Her trying to like attract this man who's obviously not into her.
Yeah.
And then being so angry that like this lady's come to look for her kids. And then like escape the bear, not escape the bear. Like she's just a bumbling idiot. Which is funny because I think a lot of these, I don't know who produced this movie, but they must have been somewhat tied to The Americans, the TV show from FX, because Carrie Russell was in it. That lady who was a park ranger was their handler in Americans. And the dude that jumps out of the plane, that's I can't remember the actor's name, but he was the main dude in Americans. So like I was like, either they got the same agent or they made friends like be in my movie.
And it was directed by Elizabeth Banks too.
It was.
She's got, I mean, she's always had a comic timing to her. So I think that her skills as an actress has led her definitely to behind the director's chair here, especially with this movie. It's hilarious.
I'm surprised like those kids didn't die for as much cocaine they took.
I know.
They ingested so much cocaine.
Died. Yeah,
they should have been killed.
Yeah.
I'm surprised the bears could catch any of them with that much cocaine in the system.
I think because they ingested it rather than snorted it, I don't know anything about how to do cocaine, by the way. Have no experience in it. But I think if you ingest it, it's different sort of feel than if you snort it. I'm just guessing, by the way. I don't really know for sure.
Okay, but like I really don't know for sure. Like I really never tried it. So when I saw them take that whole like spoonful and eat it, I was just like, surely they're about to die. Like surely we're about to watch these kids die. All because these stupid brats wouldn't listen to their parents.
And here's like, also the thing too with that. This is not street cocaine that you would buy from your dealer. This that's pure uncut. Colombian white. Straight off Colombia. They should have died.
Yes.
They're going to be so disappointed when they get older and in college frat house. And
it's like, this is nothing like the stuff I had as a child. What is this? What is this cut with? Baking soda?
Right.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jason.
No.
You by all means, go ahead.
I just love how what's his name? You called him. What did you call him? Ice cream? What?
Snow cone.
Snow cone.
Is he smelling ice?
Okay. He literally lost 2 fingers and he's complaining about his jersey. He's like, oh man. He's like wrapping his hand with it. He's like, my jersey. Like probably.
Also,
amazing.
Speaking of a satisfying racial moment is when he gets jumped by the 3 teenagers in the bathroom and he completely beats their asses.
Yeah.
Because they were so confident coming in there thinking they're gonna, and he's just like, I work for the mob, man. Like, come on.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Alden Ehrenhardt's character is like, go get the gun. He's like, I don't think this is a gun type situation. Like, go get the gun. So I don't think it's either. Oh, it's a laugh riot, guys. It's probably one of those.
It's so fun. It's so ridiculous. It's fun. And like, before we saw the movie, because Logan didn't really want to see it, and he was just like, I just want you to know that the bear died. The bear ingested cocaine and it died 10 minutes later. So like you're talking about a black bear who just like died. And I was like, okay, relax. Like,
I'm sorry that black bear died, Logan.
Also, too, I don't think anybody was like, oh, this is based on a true story. I gotta go see it now. Like, nobody, again, at least nobody I knew was like, it's based on a true story. Oh, I gotta check this.
The story, the real story basically is guy falls on the airplane and dies with cocaine. Bear eats cocaine and dies. They find the cocaine. End of story. Like,
right.
Right. Yeah.
Now,
but he still enjoyed it. He's like, oh yeah, I'm so like, he loved it. It's great. It's good for all ages.
I gotta ding this. I gotta ding this for one thing. They say they're in Blood Mountain in North Georgia. this shit was shot in New Zealand. Pisses me the fuck off.
Why? Like literally everything's shot in Georgia,
Yeah,
except for the movie that takes place in Georgia.
You flew them halfway across the world.
It makes sense.
You got to shot this for half the price, for the price of the plane tickets in Georgia.
That's what you're dinging this on? Oh,
Yes.
Man,
Look, I'm
all right,
sorry.
All right. Fair enough.
Unfortunately, from what my father says, I am a Georgian boy, and I need my representation on screen. If you're gonna say it's Georgia, it better be freaking Georgia.
Especially since we're filming like the majority of the stuff these days. Like, so it's fine. It is what it is.
Okay, 1 to 5.
On a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the best thing or the worst thing you've ever seen, and 5 being the best. Also, Ron, these numbers do not correlate with one another.
I hate that you put a disclaimer on here now that he has you guys so shook that he was going to.
He lives rent free in our head,
in my head, rent free. He's got a nice palette there. It's got posters on the wall. Just lives there, and I don't charge him nothing. Lisa, what would you give this movie? 1 to 5.
It's a 5. It's so fun. It is a 5.
Jason, how about you?
I'm gonna give it a 3. If you're not into this, you're not gonna be into it. So I'm into it. So I'm here for it. But if you're not into it, it's an easy. You'll be upset if you refer to certain people. They'll be like, "Why did you tell me to watch this shit?" So I'm gonna give it a 3. But I enjoyed every moment of it. It was great. I had a great time.
Irvin doesn't agree with you. It's goated.
I listened to his review earlier today. So yes.
I'm going to go with Lisa and give it a 5 out of 5. Like everything out of this was so much fun. We would have the graphic here of applauding, but someone boo this dude, boo him. No one's here to boo.
Acknowledge me.
Boo him. Throw stuff at him. So that's our review for that one. Jason, you got anything for us for?
Yeah. So let's play a little game here. We'll probably let Lisa go last since she didn't know that we were going to be playing this game. We're going to do the top 3 animal attack movies, and so give Jason even some more time. I'll start off with my 3. So coming in and at number 3, I have the movie Crawl with alligators, or I guess crocodiles. I don't know the difference between the two. My wife does. She's from Florida. She specializes in it. I don't. They're the same animal to me. But Crawl is my number 3. When animal attacks movie, just a fun movie, and I mean, it's alligators eating people. Who can't beat that? Number two, when animals attack, it's going to be for me. It's going to be cliche. Jaws. Yes, The shark goes and eats people, and people just don't realize the best way to get away from a shark is get out of the water. But that's what makes it great.
Just leave.
They can't figure it out. They cannot figure that out.
Stop going places with water. Time out. Jason.
Okay. Yes.
Can I guess your number 1?
You'll never guess my number 1, but go ahead. Give it a try. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead and go with number 1.
Okay.
I'm never going to guess it.
Wait, text it to us just in case. You're right, because I won't believe you if you're like, that's what I was going to say.
Okay, yeah. If he texts it. All right.
Yeah.
My number 1 when animals attacks movie is Beethoven. Yes, that movie is terrifying. That dog is a menace to society.
Beethoven doesn't attack anybody.
And you know what? They made it so menacing that they made a sequel and got a whole bunch of other little bad motherfuckers running around here attacking people.
Andy had babies.
No, they pretended to be attacking, and it was like, that's obviously fake, but there's no marks on you, dude. Like, what are you
the most disgusting thing a dog can do to me is lick me in my face, and Beethoven does it all the time in that movie.
Oh yeah.
You better never come.
Jason,
you can never come to my house because I have a dog who just has no manners, and that's all he does.
You know what he doesn't do? Lick me in my face. I'll tell you that right now.
right. Disgusting.
I ain't let no dog lick my face.
That's an assault.
Me and the dog have problems now. We fighting.
That is my top 3 with animals attacks. Jason, what do you have for us? Top 3 animals attacks movies.
So
Irv goes, I was thinking Marley and Me. So Irv, you were close. You were close.
Marley and Me. Yeah, that dog that's a menace right there. That's the one that deserves to die. If you've seen Marley and Me, the dog does actually die. Number 3. Let's go with King Kong. There's nothing it's unfortunate. That monkey shouldn't have never been there.
Facts.
He was just living his monkey life. He's a gorilla. He's not a monkey. He's a gorilla. Enjoying himself. Is it racist that everybody on the island is black? A little bit, but they were living a good life. They were fine. The monkey protected them.
Yeah.
And then it's colonization of the movie. People were fine on their own, living their lives. And here
like
comes the
Avatar.
white guys. Just like Avatar. 100%.
Oh,
Like
is that
Avatar.
more? Is that more when white people attack than when animals attack?
Because at least in King Kong, no one was like, you know what? I'm a native now. I'm the best
Facts.
native.
Facts.
So King Kong, number 3. Number 2, which I thought would be your number 1, was going to be Anaconda. Because J-Lo.
Ooh.
And John Voight getting eaten by a snake. And Ice Cube, also Snow Cone's father, was in it. Because it's a bunch of crushed up ice cubes.
We get it.
You told us.
It's for the cheap
Oh,
seats.
okay. I guess if we clip this, they won't know that. So yes.
Yeah,
thank you
they
for
don't know
throwing
this.
that in again.
It's for the cheap seats.
They didn't hear me on the back.
Okay.
Anaconda, underrated, bad movie. It's terrible, but I love it so much.
I really love Anaconda.
And I thought those snakes were real. I had a legitimate fear of anacondas for at least 2 years coming to eat me, and that's a terrible way to die. But
So
number
you
1,
don't have a fear of anacondas now? Because I still fear anacondas.
it depends on what type of
I fear
anaconda.
all snakes. All snakes. And I'm gonna like anacondas, all snakes. Like fuck that. No.
I mean, I could probably outrun an anaconda, but the ones that I don't like are the ones that they have poison. Like, I gotcha. And you're like, fuck.
I'm glad they speak to you before they attack you.
I know. It's so nice of them.
Like, I'm here. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna bite you. Stay away. Number 1 animal attack movie of all time is the movie My Girl.
Yeah.
Oh, the bees. Oh,
Fuck them bees, man.
Fuck
I
them
tell
bees.
you what.
You can't see without his glasses.
That's why bees are extinct. I bet you. That's why bees are going extinct. That's why they're a endangered species, because all the millennials who grew up with that movie, they're like, fuck
Like,
bees.
nope,
'cause
we're
they
not
kill
messing with
them.
no bees. Just kill them all. I don't care.
Millennials
Even
don't care, we
bumblebees,
need
even though
them.
bumblebees are not aggressive, kill those too.
Mhm.
Yeah, number 1.
I
My
love our
Girl.
list so far. This is amazing.
I'm still traumatized by that to this day. I should probably make my son watch that so he can be traumatized too.
I know. I
I
think about
love-
it constantly.
Generational trauma. I mean, it's better.
Mhm,
Speaking of generational trauma, real quick, I made your son watch The Notebook, so you're welcome.
Oh God. I'm just gonna have to throw the whole child away.
mhm.
You're no longer welcome here. Don't come to
It's
my
fine.
house.
He tried to make inappropriate jokes so he wouldn't feel the feels.
Oh, dude.
He tried.
I'm not going to tell my kid's business on the internet, but he's his father's son. He's the darkest
Yes.
kid. I love him so much.
Mm.
They're kissing. Oh, like that's what people do. That's how you were made.
Ew. That's not how babies are made. Just in case there's like someone who just
So,
came off an island, has never been around people, and they're just thinking that.
yeah,
I just want to put that
one
disclaimer in
kiss and she's pregnant.
And if you have just got off an island and don't know how it works, we have a Marvel movie for you to watch.
there. Yes, please let us know.
I've been on an island for the last 20 years. What's new? Is this confusing to you?
Irvin goes Deep Blue Sea. Oh, that's a good one.
That's
We
a
can
great
replace
one.
that.
That's a great one.
Cujo and Arachnophobia.
I
Yes,
was going to
kudos,
say
Irvin.
arachnophobia.
I love
but,
Arachnophobia.
I
love
don't
that
like
movie.
spiders, and so that's just like off the list completely. I like snakes more than like spiders. I would definitely fuck with a snake before I would ever fuck with a spider, ever.
But you can outrun a spider too.
No, you can't. Those things jump.
But you'll be
Yeah,
going
not-
that way, and they'll be jumping
No.
like.
Did
Have
you
you ever
not see
seen
Charlotte's?
Australia?
Yeah, it's a hellscape. They have
Mm-mm.
toilet spiders. They eat other spiders
Nope.
and toilet frogs. And I don't ever want to go there.
No, thank you.
Look,
I
most
can't even talk about
spiders
because
only-
it seriously gives me anxiety just
Yeah.
thinking about those videos that I've seen.
Spiders
No.
only catch you because they trap you. Like you'll be walking, they're like, ah, like if you
Did you
like
not
saw it
see-
face to face, you just run the
Did
other way.
you not see Gremlins 2 with the spider gremlin and the girl got trapped in the spider gremlin
Yeah,
spider
'cause
net?
he trapped her. Yeah, he trapped
Yeah,
her.
spiders are everywhere. They're way worse than snakes.
Way
I don't
worse.
fuck with snakes, but I definitely don't fuck with spiders. Lisa,
All right,
go
well,
ahead with
okay.
your top three.
My turn. Yes. Number 3, Piranha. You guys ever seen
Ooh.
that one?
Oh yes, yes.
It's the one 3DD with the
Piranha 3D. That one was like, yeah, that was
Oh, you
a
talking
little.
about the remakes? Oh, hold on. Yeah, the recent one.
I mean, recent,
Because
like
Wes
the last
Craven
20
made
years.
a Piranha sequel, I believe, years ago. Like,
So I'm talking about the one I own it on DVD, and it came
Oh,
with
okay.
like, and it came with little 3D glasses
Yeah,
for us to
3D.
watch on our TV.
or is it
Okay.
3 double D?
So, it
yeah, I think
wasn't.
it's-
It wasn't the one in the water park. It was the one before. The
Oh,
water
so that
park.
wasn't 3 double D because that was the one with the water park. I think I don't know.
But either way, the Piranha movies in general, ew. Like I never wanted to go on a lake again. And as a Georgia girl, like I'm a lake person. I grew up going to a lake. It doesn't freak me out. Like people are deathly afraid of Lake Lanier. I don't care. Like
Well,
I fucks with lakes. I live in Georgia. Go to
your
man-made lakes.
ancestors aren't trying to pull you down.
So, yeah.
Come be with
So-
us.
But like after I watched that movie, I was like, I don't know if I can go to a lake ever again. Like that one was bad. Number 2 is Pet Cemetery. With
Ooh,
that,
nope.
mhm.
Don't nope. Close laptop. Don't
With
mess
that-
with Pet
that-
Cemetery.
Yeah,
God.
that creepy little kitty. And then I just want disclaimer to this day, if I feel like I'm mean to my cats, I will go up to them to be extra nice and be like, just in case you're a demon.
No, they come back
Please
wrong. It's not
speak
anything
to
that you
me.
do now. They come
yeah,
back
yeah,
wrong.
They come back wrong. Yeah.
Um,
The old man tells us that explicitly.
Yeah, like which
yeah.
in that movie, still have not seen it from start to finish. I've seen every single part of it, but not from start to finish because it scares the shit out of me.
It's scary. It's still scary to this day. It is still scary.
This dude is told multiple times, don't put shit in that ground. And has multiple examples of not to put shit in that ground. And he still does it.
Guess what he does? Does that and puts his baby in there. Like,
And it's
bro.
like, oh, this, and then he puts his wife in there, and guess what happens?
Mm, mm.
Poor Tasha Yarn. That's a Star
Ooh.
Trek reference. It's the same lady that played.
Whew. So, I mean, I'm like literally getting anxiety thinking about that one because that one is. And then number 1, of course, has to be the greatest movie of all time.
The Wiz?
Should have gotten awards. Everybody sleeps on it. Snakes on a Plane.
That should have gotten awards. You're absolutely right. If we ever
So
get-
amazing.
If we ever
We're gonna
get
make so many people mad. So many people mad with these lists. Because
Wait.
I already know the first thing somebody's gonna be like, you guys didn't pick Jurassic Park? No.
Jurassic Park.
Dinosaurs are
No.
being dinosaurs. I can't get mad at
Yeah.
them for being
We
dinosaurs.
picked what we picked, okay?
Yeah.
And you picked alligators, and alligators are dinosaurs, so they can just get over it. It's fine.
Yeah, they're the same thing. We're literally
Correct.
the same thing.
You are correct.
Yes, everybody relax, okay? But also, if you have a problem, please comment on our YouTube video, please.
I
As
literally
Herb
have
has
not-
just done. Have a great evening. Thanks for the
And I'm out. I was in on the show, but now this is the line. You've crossed it.
I'm telling you, when we get Sam Jackson on the show to talk about the cleaner, then we can talk about the masterpiece that is Snakes on a Plane and how beautiful that movie is.
I say right now that our goal for this show,
Mhm.
you know, is to actually get Sam Jackson on here. And
Yes.
the only time we will ever review the cleaner is because we've got Sam Jackson.
Yes. And we need
All
to
right.
review Snakes on a Plane.
And that's
Everybody
all we're
needs
going to
to
ask
start
him questions over is the
Social
cleaner.
media bombing him, man, and everybody just needs so. Hey, y'all, you need to go to the show, Sam.
like, please come to our podcast and so we can talk about this movie that you did in 2007. Not your whole entire body of work of your 30 years as an actor. Just this one movie that no one saw.
Yep. All right, we're about to get to the real insanity of this show.
Yes. Okay. Whew. Everybody, get loosey goosey. Stretch it out. Shake it up.
Okay, go ahead.
Isn't there like a Taylor Swift song where it's about shake it in or something?
Shake it up.
Well, we can't do that. We'll get copyright struck.
It's fine. I probably didn't have the tune right, so.
Can't wait till Beyonce remakes that song.
Oh yeah, it'll be much better when she does it. I wish Whitney Houston was still alive because she could probably make that song great.
That song is great. Fuck you guys.
I'm sorry, Lisa. I'm sorry. Vampire Slayer Elliot Jones made it his life's mission to take revenge on the bloodsucker who killed his teenage daughter. After years of tracking them, he finally reached their secret and hidden base. However, to get to them, he'll need help from a motley crew of social media superstars who've been invited to party at the compound that's also a lair for ancient vampires. That, my friends, is the synopsis from Google, which was way better than the actual movie, which is called Slayers.
Stop burying the lead.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, but for joining us for the first time, if you don't know, now you know. We do our one sentence review for everything that we do. See, I switched it up that time. Go ahead, Lisa. Give us your one sentence review.
Who paid for this?
Jason, hit us.
This should be the slayer of careers for everyone involved.
I like how you see. He always does a wordplay. It's
I know he's so clever.
My one sentence review is this movie sucks.
I see what you did there.
See,
even though there's very little of that going on in this movie.
Oh my god!
At all.
So just to be completely honest with our viewers and everything, I did not finish this movie. I turned it off. I was like, this is the most god-awful piece of shit I've seen in a quite long time. And the thing was, I was really excited to see this movie. An indie movie starring Thomas Jane. Oh my god, this is going to be fun. Because he does a lot of these indie movies where he's this cool, badass, vampire hunter. That should be cool. This movie sucks. This movie, I feel like this movie is a movie where they had only so much footage. And they're like, oh shit. We only got an hour's worth of footage, and we need to make an hour and a half worth of movie. Fuck. So let's just splice stuff in. Just use old takes. We just keep splicing stuff in. It's for Gen Zs. They don't care. Make it like a video game. Make it like TikTok. Make it like this. Make it like that. So I think beyond the bad acting and the terrible plotting and the terrible pacing and the terrible editing, and just all around just. Everybody just seemed completely bored and not interested in doing this, with the exception of Thomas Jane, who seems like he's at least trying to have fun. The thing that I guess it got me the most is the fact that I never noticed any continuity errors. I never noticed any of these things that I didn't see the cup in Game of Thrones. I didn't see the car in Braveheart. I don't see errors. There's an obvious shot where this person's supposed to be dead and she blinks twice. And I'm like, y'all couldn't have cut that? I saw it. I'm a moron, and I saw it. Y'all couldn't have cut that? It's just, who paid for this? Y'all
right? Someone put money. Someone invested in this movie. Can I just tell you, it makes me so angry that they released this, but they won't give us the Batwoman movie.
Yeah.
What?
Is the only thing.
You will give us this garbage, and you will actually promote it, and but you won't let us see Batwoman. I cannot fathom what is happening. 20 minutes in, and we still don't see any vampires. What? This is like you said, no one even looked like they were having fun. They were just showing up to collect a paycheck. horrible. I also DNF. So
I can just imagine.
maybe it became amazing afterwards. Jason, you'll have to tell us.
Jason's like, you gotta stay in there. You gotta, after the first 45 minutes, it gets
DNF.
I just can imagine like when they're screening this and like the financiers are all in there, the director's in there, like all happy and shit with what he did, like the actors in there, and they're like proud of the movie. I can just imagine like the financiers just looking at him the whole entire time, like, you motherfuckers. I don't need my money back.
So I had to edit it and be like, yep, this is it. This is the shot.
Just imagine like this poor person who's like, I'm going to get in the movie business. I got the money. I can get into it. And he goes, I'm going to go broke. I'm going to die. My kids are going to starve to death.
The director's got to be someone's kid or some shit, or someone's like godson. Who's just like.
As soon as I finished watching this movie, I looked to see who directed this, and it's some guy, because I thought maybe it was just like some up and comer, like music video director or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy has several made for streaming movies about vampires and stuff, and none of them I heard of. And I'm like, these all look like garbage.
He got to be somebody's godson.
Like, who do you have to sleep with? And like, point them in my direction. Like, come on. If you're just giving away money for people to do stuff, like, I'm here. I'm pretty easy, I guess. Jason, please tell us you like this movie.
Please tell you like this movie. No. We're not gonna do that. I'm not gonna destroy my credibility with this. Like, I'll die on a lot of hills. I'll die on the Halloween Kills hill that is just a goofy ass horror movie. I'll die on a lot of hills on some bad horror movie stuff. But it's one of my good friends, one of my best friends, Rico, would tell me, I will not watch this type of trash horror movies, because for me, like, horror movies or even just sci-fi movies in this kind of spectrum, the beauty in some of it is the originality that they can have with such low budgets.
Mm-hmm.
This movie was like, yeah, we don't got no money. Well, okay, we can think of a creative way to do this. No. Just press it on their shirt and bust the dye bag. That's it. They're like, but we can do it. No. Just press it on their shirt. And then when you do that, and when right before the blood goes, we're going to do a hard cut to something stupid and do a hard cut back. So, like, it is all over the place. Now, I will tell you some parts I did enjoy, and which is, I feel like it's blasphemy to say on this movie that I enjoyed anything. And I liked how they messed with the, like, history with the vampire thing and blah, blah, blah. Like, I thought that was pretty cool. Almost to the point that I said to myself watching this, I'm like, if anybody's ever read the book World War Z and not seen the movie, but read the book is just jumps around different spots with the. I would have enjoyed if that was the movie, if it was just showing different slayers handling different historical figures or whatever,
like
whatever.
Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Right. And even still, if you wanted to make it fun and cheap, just have Thomas Jane play all the different slayers and all the different generations. And like it would have been still funny and tongue in cheek. So that's the worst part about it, is I'm watching a movie, I'm thinking of all the creative ways that this could have been better. But the one biggest blasphemous thing of all of this is, like, there are no cool kills. At least I can say with Halloween Kills, there's some cool kills.
Some
like,
fun individual ones, yeah.
Yeah. It's nothing fun about this movie. And I realized my friend asked me to watch it because he's like, oh, I need to give you a movie that you all can all agree to shit on. And I said, I wish you would have told me that before, but I spent an hour and a half, and thank God that you guys didn't finish it, because it'd have been more disappointing by the end, because the end just ends. Like, literally, it's like,
they just stop shooting.
Oh, yeah, like, it literally, like, yeah, it's like, oh, the chosen blood people get out. And then you're thinking, oh, well, he's going to blow these up before the vampire. No. Like 4 or 5 vampires run about the building, and then it's like this made-for-TV blowing up explosion effect. You know, like you see, like, the comedy gags where something blow up. It's just like this smoke puddle, but everything's the same. It was that at the end. And I was like, wow. They really pulled out all the stops to make sure that this is the worst movie ever seen by the 7 people who've probably watched this. And so I thought maybe I missed the point. So I said, Jason, do some research. So I started going on the internet, pulling up reviews of this.
Sleuthing.
Oh, no. everybody feels the same way we feel. They're like, oh, this is the worst thing that has ever been done. How in the hell did they green like this? Who saw this and thought this was appropriate? And better yet, here's the bigger mind blower is, how the hell did Hulu say, yeah, this is good enough to put on our streaming service? This makes me lose all respect.
We'll
for Hulu
take
now.
anything.
Like, yes. That's what
they have zero standards, clearly.
Oh, it's bad. I mean, almost to the point, guys. I would tell you guys to watch it, not us, because you guys shouldn't finish it. But other people, now that you know it's terrible, find out a way to make a drinking game out of it and then have the time of your life.
Misery loves company, so go ahead and watch this movie.
No, don't support it. If they keep putting Dookie out like this, I'm gonna be pissed.
I want you to feel the pain that I felt. It was embarrassing, Lisa.
It's embarrassing that this is the same platform that has Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Like, how dare you?
What was it? Last year's Prey was amazing.
Also, over the last year, we saw so many great, or at least decent, low-budget vampire movies.
Yes.
From what was it? Darkest Night that we reviewed. And freaking Day Shift. That was fun, and even though they probably didn't have the highest budget, it had Snoop Dogg, so they at least spent $1 million on it. Vampires versus the Bronx. That I don't think we reviewed in the show, but like, you can do a good vampire movie at a small and have it not all the money in the world. It's possible.
Or that TV show on Netflix. I can never think of it. The same people who did Haunting of Hill House.
Midnight Mass. Oh, yeah. God, they had a budget though, because that show is too good not to have a budget. I still cry.
Still, but that still was specifically made for a streaming service.
Yes,
and and they had like one or two big actors, but they didn't blow their whole budget on the actors. And they still had a good quality vampire show. Spoiler alert, I'm not sorry. It's a vampire show. Okay.
It is a vampire show. They had Matt Saracen and the director.
Yes.
Well, also.
And the director's girlfriend,
As me and Jason commented before the show, I like to call these movies, when we see these kind of actors in this, the Alec Guinness, where somebody's agent owed somebody a favor and made them do this movie.
Yes!
If people don't know, Alec Guinness only did Star Wars because his manager owed George Lucas a favor, and George Lucas needed somebody to help sell the movie. So Alec Guinness was the way he helped sell the movie Star Wars to get it done. And Alec Guinness hated Star Wars. He thought it was a terrible movie and a terrible idea, and didn't understand why these wizards have laser swords and whatever. And actually ended up being the thing that is paying for all Alec Guinness' generations of kids and grandkids and great grandkids. So, because they gave him a percentage and not a paycheck. That's why.
Thomas Jane, I understand why he was in this movie. He's probably broke, and he's like, I'll do a job right now, because he's not been in a lot of big budget movies since The Punisher in 2001, and they fired him from that, And Abigail Breslin, I mean, she hasn't been relevant since Miss Little Sunshine. I guess you would say the first Zombieland. First Zombieland. The second one, it took them 10 years, and she hadn't been anything since then either. And in this one, I guess she was broke too, but what's her face? Malin Anchorman, she was in Watchmen. A big budget Zack Snyder $500 million movie.
That was how long ago, though? Come on.
Yeah, it was a long time.
Yeah, ago. And it was 87 hours long.
Yeah. And wasn't even that Oh, how the mighty have fallen. I mean, it's just, I felt sorry for the people who had to be in this movie, man. I would have rather not worked. I would have been like, I'm going to take this day off.
But you
won't get paid. It's okay.
I couldn't even put this movie on as a background. I tried to just have it on so I could just listen while I was working. And I was like, nope. That's not, I can't even, it's so ridiculous. It's so bad.
It's so bad. There was another continuity error that I noticed. There was a point where Abigail Breslin was in the shower. She was talking to her followers or whatever. And this is just a stupid nitpicky point. But she has white nail polish on, and she walks out of the shower, and it's black nail polish.
Maybe it's color changing. Maybe it's temperature. Maybe it's temperature changing, and that nail polish does exist.
Yeah. Well, in a movie, you would say something
Listen,
like that.
I know it's so bad.
Because
I
obviously it was shot at a
can't.
different time, probably on her actual cell phone.
Yes.
And they're like, "Oh no, we need more footage. Abigail, do something." And she's like, "Okay, I can pretend like I'm."
Do something.
They
Watch
like called her
watch this movie become one of those like occult
Cult classic.
classics. And
Yeah,
like in 20 years, everybody's like, this is the most amazing movie ever
they're
made.
sitting
And
here
here's
like there's a
why.
college course over it. Have you not seen the seminal
Here's why.
2023 classic Slayers? This is the cultural moment
Yeah.
of not just this generation, but of all mankind.
It
Well-
single-handedly defined. Yeah,
It
The fact that you
solves
say that-
racism.
It does have bones of being something more. As a horror guy, I don't think it will get to that cult classic range of it, unless one of the people in here become like a mega superstar,
I don't
and
think
then it will kind of. But
so.
it does have bones of it because it does play a lot with the technology age and all of that. So those bare bones sometimes translate better over time when the quote unquote technology is more outdated and you enjoy it more looking back. But outside of that, that's probably the only thing that may give it a chance because it kind of like slaughters a bunch of influences that people already hate now.
But like, let's talk about their plan, by the way, because I didn't really get to the point where they actually explained it because I turned it off. But they did like we're going to kill like people who have like millions of followers. Like, you think that's not? And they were like, "Hey, we're going to these people's houses, and like if they don't come back, like."
Oh yeah, because you didn't finish it. Yeah, it's different. Like the brother and sister evidently have some like crazy
didn't
make it
ancient
that
ass
far.
glow. Yeah,
They were
that-
trying to make them vampires, obviously, at some point. But
no,
like,
they actually were trying to put this king ultra old vampire in the young dude's body that was supposed to get. Yeah, again, it's bullshit. It don't matter. It don't really matter. It don't
Like,
really matter. It doesn't
of
matter.
all the people you want to kill, like, don't kill famous people. If you're stuck, especially if you're trying to not be a vampire or not be like discovered as a vampire, right? Like, if I'm trying to be a serial
Well, but that's
killer,
the whole premise is that most of the famous people were all vampires. Like Thomas Jane
Quit
Gold.
making him defend the movie.
doesn't matter.
Quit
Yes,
making
exactly.
him defend the movie,
Thank you.
Jason.
All right.
Stop it.
Thank you, Lisa.
let's just go ahead
Because I
and give
feel
it our
bad
rating.
making like, oh, the movie did have a logic for this, but no. It doesn't matter. It does not
It's
matter.
dumb. It's dumb. Let's give it a score from 1 to 5. 1 being straight garbage, the worst thing you've ever seen. I think we can probably figure out what we're going to lean at. And 5 being the greatest movie you've ever seen. Just to make sure that I had to piss off Jason, these numbers don't correlate with anything else that we've done.
No, these numbers will correlate. This is probably
This one I will
time
actually be
these
something
numbers
that you
will
probably.
correlate.
So if I give something else a similar score to this will definitely be the measure that I'm measuring
No.
against.
Nope.
No. Lisa's like, no, there's gonna be movies that are great that I'm gonna hate. I'm giving them 1.
Yep. Exactly.
Lisa, please go ahead and give us your score from 1 to 5.
I will give it a 1 only because of Thomas Jane and because the opening sequence was fun and it tricked me into thinking, okay, this movie's not going to be terrible, and then it lied. But yeah, so it gets a 1.
Jason,
I'm going to give it a 0.3, and that's only because again I did like some of like the history twisting with vampires thing, but that's it.
I'm going to give it. If I ever saw the director on the street, I would probably spit in his face.
Okay, that's not a number.
I feel like that's like a -27. I think that's
That's
what
not a
that
number,
is.
but that's okay.
-27.
You watched The Menu, right?
Yes.
Jason, I know you both have watched The Menu. I
Yeah.
don't think we reviewed this on the show, but the reason John Leguizamo was there, right, was because he watched his movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little slow, but I got it.
I get what you're saying.
I'd be like, "Oh, you were in
I
that
know
movie.
we condone that.
You were in Slayers." So why am I here? Because you were in Slayers.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Lisa's mom. Oh yeah, I mean, it was fun to shit on it. I enjoyed that part. But moving right along. But
Finally.
Lucian, don't finally me. Agent Twilight. The greatest spy of Nation Westalis assembles a fake family in order to infiltrate an elite private school, not realizing he recruited a psychic child and a legendary assassin, also in need of a cover family. That is what Google said about the anime Spy Family or Spy X Family. I don't know how it's pronounced. But if you don't know, now you know. For everything that we do, we give it a 1-sentence review. Lisa, go ahead and give us your 1-sentence review.
Spy Family, a Twilight I won't complain about.
Jason, go ahead and give us your 1-sentence review.
Spy Family. This is a bigger East-West beef than Biggie and Tupac.
For me, sometimes abortion is the answer. That kid was grating.
You're talking about the girl?
The little girl was grating. It was like chalk. It was like nails on a chalkboard.
No.
And there was parts where I'm like, oh, she's fun and quirky and I like it. And there's parts where I'm like, why just throw the whole baby away?
Throw the whole baby. Wow, okay.
But you guys are anime fans. Go ahead and give us your thoughts on this.
Well, I don't think it's about being an anime fan. I mean, outside of like the artwork and all that, I do vibe with you on a moment of the annoyance. My annoyance with the character wasn't the character's fault. I think it's the whole run of the show. I feel like a lot of this show is stretched, and I know anime is known for filler, but like they never just all out explicitly call it or show it like a filler. Like it feels like you still got to watch each little piece of the show because it gives a little bit more going into the plot, and that kind of bothered a lot out of me because it was parts where she grated on me because it was like, okay, we get it, she's bad at school. Okay, all right, okay, we get it. Like but that wasn't the character. It was just like they had to keep reiterating this. It reminded me of the great old days of watching Dragon Ball Z, and then 15 minutes into the show, it's just recapping what all happened last show, and then you get like 10 minutes of new stuff, and then you get the rest of the 5 minutes with like next time on Dragon. Like that's what it felt like to me, and I was like, this is so entertaining in a lot of parts. But then it just like comes to a halting crash to be like, all right, I guess we gotta say something for the next episode. Like, I don't
look, we got a 20 season episode order. We gotta fill those 20 episodes, all right? Like,
I guess so.
We only got 5 episodes of the story, but we got 20 episodes to fill.
and just like in typical anime fashion, the end of the season is awesome. It's a great ending. I know everybody didn't finish everything on it, but it makes the payoff of watching it always to the end is worth it. It just sometimes I wish, we could have cut about 5 episodes off of this, and I probably would have enjoyed it a hell of a lot better.
Lisa, you have thoughts on this?
I loved it, and it could have. I don't know. I just everything about it. I loved it. I don't have a complaint, honestly. I thought that the little girl was hilarious, and just because she doesn't know anything about anything, like, and she thinks that she knows things because she could read people's minds, but it just makes everything worse. And like, just like her cute, like little quirks, like how she can't, like she says "oot" instead of "out." Like I just thought we're going on a ooting. Like I just thought that was just so adorable. And when the first time, whenever she's going to get fitted for her uniform, she's like, "Help! I'm getting trafficked!" Like she doesn't know. She just has like these cute little like zingers that just kind of hit. It's just like, I think she's a good comedic timing. So usually kids annoy me in anime. Like it has to. Usually I do get a little bit of a. Like I'm like, okay, that's why I couldn't get into Naruto, because he starts so young, and I was like, this kid is annoying me to death, and I know he gets better as he gets older, but like I can't wait 5 seasons for him to get older.
He doesn't get much better. He's still annoying little brat most of the show.
But wait, you're who's the wife? Yor. Yeah, Yor. bad.
She's a badass.
Amazing.
She's
awesome.
so like
She's great.
there were times
Best
there were
girl. Have a
times-
crush.
Yeah.
it's for real.
100%.
Like for real. So my daughter watched this first. So she'd already seen it. So she sat down to like rewatch with me and she's already rewatched it before. So she's literally like, waiting for me to watch a scene and I'll be like, oh, and then she'll be like, okay, let's rewatch it. Like we'll rewind it to watch, because she's cool. She is very cool. She's a fun, like, and again, like it has this like just kind of like she has like an innocence to her, even though she's an assassin.
She's
like,
a
but it
30-year-old
shows
widow.
well, it shows her
spinster.
like being a good big sister by literally murdering people.
Right.
And her brother is like, she always worked herself bloody. And like, so it just like shows her like reading him a book while she's covered in blood. And it, I have a weird sense of humor. So I thought it was amazing. Twilight is anime boyfriend material. I'm here for it. Like, someone get me that pillow. Yes.
You want a waifu pillow of Twilight?
Also, I always love when you were like, as I call it, the Family Guy cutscene, where she would like imagine like
Murdering
the things
people.
that she would hear from them. Like, I always thought it was always funny. Like,
Yes.
I remember the one always stands out to me is when, Yuri's trying to like, oh, should I tell her what my profession is? Blah blah blah. She's thinking that, and Anya starts like dreaming about like her being taught the profession. They're both just sitting there rubbing their hands, and it's like she's just like, and I was like, oh, that's so funny. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
again, like I said, I didn't dislike it. I just felt like it could have been more concise. But I think also from what my daughter has told me, because she's watched it, I think a lot of this for season 2, all the stuff we're going through, a lot of these payoffs are also in season 2 as well, or whatever, like coming up, whatever. So I think that's why. But I mean, look, I'm here for it, man. It was fun, it had action. I mean, you're gonna give me spies, but I was saying when I first started watching it, I remember. I'll make sure I say this. It reminded me of. Do you remember that show Burn Notice? That was on USA.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that when like Twilight would be doing this like overgoing like why spies do this and blah blah. I was like, oh, this is just Burn Notice in anime, and like, but yeah, it's fun, man. I really enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I would have.
Yeah.
As your resident anime hater, I'm gonna have to say that both of you are completely and utterly pretty on base on the show.
Yeah,
it's pretty funny. There's some things that are grating to me. The little girl is like, I hated her, but I loved their dynamic as a family. I thought they all played off each other pretty freaking well. I thought it was hilarious. Twilight is cool. Yor is the coolest. I particularly enjoyed the interview day at the school. Where he had
yes,
like, oh, don't worry, we haven't changed the clothes.
Yeah,
we have a second change of clothes.
Yeah,
and
I don't think the definition of elegance.
And the freaking dude who's watching them is just like freaking ejaculating on how bad they are. And you're like, oh my god, like,
it's so funny.
In any other probably like genre, I would probably like, this is annoying as hell, but for some reason this completely worked. It was hilarious. I do find like sometimes especially with Twilight, he monologues a lot, and particularly and that's one of those things that they do in anime a lot. They just like, oh, this is what I'm thinking, and this is the actions that I'm going to take, blah 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 blah, and nothing's actually happening on screen because I'm talking about it, and that just comes with the territory. So like, I was like, okay, just leave it over. The little girl, I watched it dubbed rather than subbed, which is against my rules. The voice actor for that person needs to be fired, but the child itself was fun. But I would have definitely had not picked that one out. I'd be like, give me another one.
Yeah, well, he tried. He kind of wanted to.
Yeah,
was like, nah, bro.
You
taking this kid.
What was in the
you don't
second
need no
episode?
paperwork. You taking this kid.
The second episode where he's like, "Oh, we're playing hide and seek, and take this to the cops."
right here.
Yes.
Oh,
Papa's a liar. Like,
yeah, Papa
he is.
Yeah.
like he's a spy. Like you could read his mind, and she just like, and every time she reads someone's mind, she always like makes it worse somehow. Except for like, and it's funny. It's enjoyable. If you like anime, you'll probably like this show. So
It is a quintessential anime. Like it has all the it ticks all the boxes, and it's cute, whenever she's trying to like become friends with the boy, and like and then so you get a little bit of the boy's thing, and he's like, why do I feel this way when I'm around her? And he's just like all that shit. It's just so funny. And I love the episode when yours brother came and he's like, you gotta kiss, and then like they're going to kiss and he's like, don't kiss her, it's so funny. Over the top, completely ridiculous, absolutely love it. That's the reason why I love anime. Like this is the reason why I love anime.
Also, don't be mean to people because they might be assassins. Or their husbands might be spies who can beat people's I've got 30 people to beat. I got 5 seconds to beat each one of them.
Right, yeah, he like shouts it out. Very equalizer. Yes.
Yeah. Or like Sherlock Holmes. Remember Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes? Yeah. It's great. I loved it. It's great. I'm glad you suggested this one. I told Bella I was sad that I didn't just watch it with her because she was, waiting every week for the new episode, and I was like, I should have just sat down
for 20 weeks.
Yep, she's she's dedicated to her craft.
Also, for those of you who are watching, if you would like to suggest something, please go to our website www.headcanoncircus.com. There is a link that you can click that you can actually enter in your suggestions, and then we will see them when we go to the website and we review such a thing that you suggested, as this one was suggested to us by somebody. Was it suggested to us? Last one was suggested to us. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know how we get these things.
The slate was suggested. This one is something I thought we should watch.
But if you want us to watch something, go to the website. I worked hard.
Tell us, but it better not suck. I'm just kidding.
If it does, obviously we will tell you.
Yeah.
Hated it and just
oh, Men on Film. That should be like we just copy that and just like
God, that's so funny. They're so funny.
And just wait for like the Gen Zs who don't get that's a reference to something else. Be like, these people are homophobic.
Yes,
right.
Yeah,
because that was pretty homophobic.
Oh yeah, for sure.
As they complained about Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They don't get that he's a dude playing another dude playing a third dude.
Listen, they don't even care. I can't. It's fine. Like that's literally the point of the character. It's fine. It doesn't matter. Like I can't. It's gonna just make me so angry.
Also, too, like we're not gonna get into it because it's like a valid point in the movie. I'm not saying nothing allows blackface, but it allows blackface to go off because the black person in the movie was like, "This is some old bullshit." Right. So you literally like, okay. Anyway,
Look, Robert Downey Jr. is not in blackface. The character he plays,
and it's like the point. Like I can't. Let's just stop.
You people. What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you
people? Right.
Oh God!
So upset that we just can't enjoy comedy. Look, I'm all for messed up comedy. Comedy can be offensive. I always do this. The rule I have with all things that are offensive, I don't gotta listen to it.
Yeah.
If I don't like it, I gotta listen to it. So I hate that we put boundaries on things. If you think something's problematic, don't listen to it. And like the whole ideology of like, oh well, this person says or does it, it's going to promote other people to say it and do it. If someone listens to someone else and decides to hurt or harm someone else because of what someone said, that person has mental issues. Mm-hmm. They would have found any reason to harm those people or someone because they have mental issues. I hear people say a lot of crazy stuff all the time. I never once was like, I guess I better go stab them. Like, no, it's just like,
There's a couple people on my list I'm trying to say I want to stab because they say some crazy shit.
Well,
Yeah. Well, you want to, but you're not doing it.
Especially when it comes to comedy, like I think that people forget that there's a difference between like you are inciting a riot, inciting people to like comedians are not saying, hey, make sure you go out and call all your black friends the N-word and make sure you do this and make sure, like they're not saying that. They're just saying things that are probably problematic because that's the way that comedy works.
Hell.
And then like if you decide to go do all those things, that's on you, buddy. Like that they're not telling you to go do that shit.
Even if they told you to go do it and the punchline is funny, fuck it. That's the point of a comedian. It'd be different if he's like, hey, before I start my routine, I want to say kill all black people. All right, let's start the show. Like,
they're not saying that.
This is not a joke. Completely 100% serious. I'm telling you this right now. I just don't think black people should exist. Here we go. Jokes.
Yeah.
But I feel
like that's how people treat comedians, and it's just like, of course, like comedy is probably not going to age well because it's usually very like comedy is usually very central to like that specific. You, sir.
Time and place.
Yeah. It's very like pop culture-y, and so
I would say there are some times where a person and like there's this, especially like somebody like Dave Chappelle, there's this conversation about punching up versus punching down or whatever. And sometimes you punch down because you're just like trying to like connect everybody. Like we're making fun of you because you're a human just like me. Whether you believe that David Chappelle does this at this point or not, that's an opinion that you can have. But like earlier in his career, especially when he quit doing the Dave Chappelle show, is because he realized like his jokes, and I don't know why he lost his thought process, but he realized his jokes were used to actually harm people. Like they were no longer laughing at the joke as they were laughing at people with that joke, right? So I feel like there's a fine line between that point, but I also feel like comedians, like kind of their job is to like make you uncomfortable and push that envelope to where is the line? Are you gonna laugh here? Cool, I'll keep you as close to that line as possible, to make you laugh and make you think and do all the other good stuff. Now there are some comedians who are just not funny.
And there's the issue.
Yes.
And their concept of the joke, because like you could say an offensive joke, and if it's funny, it's gonna land. And everybody, even the person, even if it's about a person or a group of people, and they're gonna laugh because like, oh yeah, that's something that we all, like understand. Versus just saying something to be offensive, right? Like, where was the joke? Like, that's just you just saying something and thinking it's funny versus like having like a well-constructed, like thought out joke versus it's I don't know. I could never be a comedian, honestly. It's too much work.
I remember, so before I quit TikTok, just so you guys know, I'm just cleansing myself of TikTok for Lent. Because I follow a lot of like, different kinds of creators, and it was and so it was this Vietnamese content creator talking about, I can't remember what the comedian's name is, but she used to always do like the Vietnamese voice. I think she's a Hispanic. I can't think of what her name is now, but she's famous. But so she used to always do the Vietnamese voice and like talk about doing the nails and like, so, and she would like, talk about all this stuff. And so he said that as a Vietnamese American child, he thought it was hilarious and he loved it because nobody were talking about Vietnamese people. So it like brought like this awareness, and then it brought out all these, and then it birthed like actual, like Asian and Vietnamese and different type of cultures, comedians that come out later. And so he even said, like, has it aged well? No. However, do I find it offensive? Absolutely not, because they're not lying. Like, they're not saying anything that isn't true. And it's not it's not being hurtful. It's not like sitting there saying that these people are any less. It's literally just talking about an experience that she had at the nail place. Like, that's it. Like that's all it is. And then, so, and would she make the joke now? No, but care that she made it? No. And most people, so so it's just like one of those things that, like we said, it's just like of the time, of the pop culture, and as long as you're not doing it now, and I don't know. So
because let's just be honest, if you watch Def Comedy Jam in the 90s, that shit ain't gonna fly today.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that? The show on used to come
Comedy
on BT?
BT.
Comedy View. Yeah. A lot of that stuff would have not have but it was funny.
I think it I'm gonna say this, and I'm walking very delicate on these eggshells as I say this. I think it would fly today, those shows, because the audience that was watching it are not typically as sensitive about the subject matter because it was relatable.
Mm-hmm.
You had a bunch of black comedians talking to a black audience, to black people about black experiences in comedy. Yeah. Right. So it would be harder to be canceled in that environment if it was translated to today, because I don't think like the problem with some of the thing with Dave Chappelle is like Dave Chappelle's audience was primarily white for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Like most black people in this house messing with right. Like most
other white people. I was the only black guy there.
Dave Chappelle into like maybe Blue Streak with Martin in the Chappelle Show. Like most
Chappelle
of us,
show,
like
100%. It wasn't even Blue Streak with Martin. It was the Chappelle Show. Yeah.
I'm just saying, well, back because it was on Nutty Professor, he was on Blue Streak. Like we knew who he was, but it wasn't like, oh, Dave Chappelle, let's go see a stand-up. Like I knew about Killing Me Softly, the stand-up, but it wasn't nothing I wasn't putting it into my top 5 stand-ups and like, so what he's saying about the trans and all that community, it hurts him more because his people that watch him are more diverse. So you're more likely to get, quote unquote, in trouble with the people that you are actually entertaining being more diverse. Where Def Comedy Jam and Comic View, you knew who that audience was, and it wasn't very diverse. I mean, you did have a sprinkle of white folks in there, but those like the white folks I use like James. Owens. Like James and Lisa. Like they're like, yeah, I roll with a bunch of mixed group anyway. So what you say is not going to offend me. Just make the joke. Like, you weren't hanging out with like, yeah. Anyway, you get my point. So yes, I think it can fly today. It just wouldn't be. But like all things, a lot of times that culture does get bigger and bigger anyway. But yeah, no. That just again tells you how much we care about Spy Family because we just didn't give a rating. So I don't know if Jason, you want to do a rating, Spy Family?
Sure. Oh. 1 to 5, guys.
5.
4.5.
It's a 5, Ron. Okay, it's a 5.
I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But as I said to all our fellow listeners and viewers and whoever else is out there, go ahead to the website and suggest stuff. And like, share, comment, subscribe. Do those things so that we can quit our jobs and live and actually be happy.
Please let us do this, and then we'll give you guys free shit. So see how it works. You help us help you.
Yeah, give us the money that you don't need.
Yeah.
What's eating another day?
Yeah. Also, if you're like a small business owner and you want to like sponsor us, and we'd love to promote you. If you are an inventor and you have like cool, let's say webcams that you want to promote, hit us up. We'll test it out. And, we're selfless.
I am a shill. If you send us money, I will dance for you. Whatever you want me to do. If you're the Russian government.
Oh my God. Okay, wait. I want to tell a story. When you said dance. Okay. So Jason, this one time it was me and James's anniversary, and I feel like it was like a significant anniversary. I think it was our 10th wedding anniversary. And we somehow, I don't know if you know the story, but Jason has always kind of been with me and James at significant moments in time. Like, you know, our first Valentine's together, Jason spent it with us, you know, the things like that.
Because
So
I
it's
was
like-
constantly the third wheel.
So it's like salt, pepper, and cumin.
It's me,
salt, pepper, and cumin.
me and you and your friend Steve. I'm Steve.
Yeah. So it was our 10th wedding anniversary. We decide to go to a zombie escape room. And
I forgot all about this.
because when you said you'll dance for money, that's what made me think of it. And so then James was like, well, like we need people to come. So of course Jason comes, and then our friend Aaron comes, and then, you know, then we're in there with random ass people. But first of all, it was like was it in Tucker or
It was in Tucker.
It was in
And
Tucker,
it was
but it
in
was
an
like
office park in Tucker.
like
So it was
behind busted buildings.
It
Oh,
was
that's awesome.
And it was like, oh, I saw this thing on the internet, says be in a room with zombies, and oh, we're driving through this like Tucker, which
Yeah.
is not, you know, Northern Gwinnett, I'll tell you that.
It's not where Jason lives.
It's not Buford, Georgia.
Yeah. So like it
And,
was
like-
so shady. I literally took a picture of the area and I
Mhm.
pinged our location. I sent it to my dad, and I was like, just in case you never see us again, this is our last location. And Google reminded me of that picture recently. So I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. But so I think we could have like 10 people in the room, and you were literally you were locked in this office room that was probably like 20 feet by
It was not a very large room, but it wasn't
10
like,
feet, maybe 7. Like
tiny.
it was not large at all. So you and the actors, they were all SAG actors. Like they were in the union, so they took
Mhm.
their craft very serious.
and let's just be honest, the dude who was the zombie was really just a dude with like a little bit of face paint
Mhm.
on.
Mhm.
But as you said, it was a SAG guild actor. He was a
Mhm.
thespian.
He
So
was
he's so-
he was a zombie for an hour. He did not break character.
Yeah.
Okay.
He did not
If
break
you-
character till we left that room, and
You
15
did
minutes later
not.
he came out and it was like, "Hey guys!" I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah. He's just like eating pizza. But we, you know, first of all, in case you guys don't know, me and my husband are very competitive people, and we do not like losing. So we were gonna do whatever it took to get out of this room. And one of the things that you could do was distract the zombie. And you could distract a zombie by making noise. So Jason, like the whole hour was just in the corner of the room. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. Just like any.
I was the only person eaten by the zombie, by the way.
Oh, well,
No,
well,
I
you are
thought
the black guy,
Chad
so first
No,
of
the
all,
Chad guy. He
I
was,
was
first.
the first person out.
yep.
No,
Because I,
the white guy.
either
the-
way,
'cause
let's
he-
just be honest. During the zombie apocalypse, I will not be hanging out with James and Lisa.
We escaped. Okay.
They escaped the zombie room, but their one black friend did not.
Facts.
It was amazing. Shout out to that
But
zombie
luckily-
escape room. I don't know if it even exists anymore. Honestly,
It probably is not there anymore. But we should do an escape room one day. That'd be fun.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for spending our 10th anniversary with us, Jason.
Of course. I was there at your first anniversary when you guys got married, even though I wasn't a best man or a groomsman at all.
Listen, that
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's
ooh,
problematic.
Always a
It's-
always
Listen.
a bride's always a usher, never a
Mhm.
groomsman.
It's
Always.
because someone significant in my life dropped out and I didn't have any
Mhm, mhm.
girlfriends.
Sure. I could walk down
And
there by
at
myself.
that moment in time, we weren't progressive enough to be like, just stand on my side, Jason. But now I would just be like, who
I
cares?
could have walked with your dog.
I didn't have a dog at that point. I was not a dog person at that point in my life.
I'm about to say shit, dog walk the aisle. Okay,
So-
all right.
White people do this shit. They'll have their dogs
Listen,
walk with them.
If future Lisa would have known, you know, if past Lisa would have known how amazing future Lisa is, she would have been like, yo, just have him be on your side, girl. It's fine. Who gives a shit? I apologize for not being woke enough to just not
also,
care who stands next
Chase, on his second wedding. Fuck you, Chase. He's not even watching.
to me. Does he even know we do this?
Probably not. Aaron, if you're watching, thank you, Aaron. Even though I didn't get to stand up there, he did say, "You're a groomsman." We went to Birmingham. We got drunk at Birmingham.
Aaron always coming in clutch.
Yeah. John, once again, fuck you, John.
Also, does John even know we exist?
Nope.
Why are you telling your friends? I tell all my friends. I literally send them a text. Make your friends.
Your friend, my friend, is sitting in the room with you.
Oh. Oh.
Dean Winchester.
Yeah, he's right there. My one friend is in the room with you as we speak.
Oh God.
I did tell my coworkers to be on here, but they didn't come. They might watch it.
Sounds so sad.
They busy.
They're like, "Oh yeah, we'll definitely be there." No one tell them.
Sorry, that we completely went off the rails. So.
Oh yeah, this is kind of the end of the show where we just fuck around anyway. So, Jason, you have anything else for us? You want to give us some parting words?
Yeah, support Sweet Brown Sugar, Grayson.
Oh, I thought you were calling us Sweet Brown Sugar. I was like, I guess I ain't kind of like brown sugar.
You are my Sweet Brown Sugar as well, Jason. But also support the Black Bakery, Sweet Brown Sugar, and Grayson. Delicious cakes. I'm actually gonna go out there tomorrow after work. Get some. My daughter's having like a sleepover. My youngest. So.
Ooh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get some sweets for them to get sugared up and then drive me insane as I tell them,
"Be like, your mama's here."
Right. 11 a.m. on Sunday. I'm pushing them out the door. Yes. But other than that, man, thanks everybody for supporting us. I think we've been extremely more active on socials. So if you have not followed us, please follow us at Head Cannon Circus on Instagram, at Cannon Circus on Twitter, Head Cannon Circus on Facebook, Head Cannon Circus on YouTube. We got the website again, headcannonsircus.com. TikTok is Head Cannon Circus as well.
Sure, why not?
Right?
I don't remember.
Okay.
But if you go to the website, all of our socials are there.
Not mine, but yeah.
Not all.
I can't figure it out.
Our show socials are there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you can.
Please follow us on all the places because we do post some good, funny stuff or some things to make you say, "Hmm." So good old
read our
socials.
Read our blogs. Me and Jason took time to write stuff, and
I'm gonna write a really scathing blog about The Greatest Showman, so she doesn't make me say nice things about it.
It's cute that he thinks I won't make him agree about that.
Once you read it, you will probably be like, "Okay, I probably won't make him say stuff."
It's fine. It's fine, guys. Don't worry. Also, I just want to just say this again, that my Instagram is private because it's literally just my personal Instagram. It's not for public consumption. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, you need to do it through the show. And that is a fantastic way to get in touch with me or Twitter.
Or our Pantheon. You can follow her through that too as well.
Oh yeah, our Pantheon.
Our Pantheon. If you guys want to ever see our text messages, because sometimes we text some crazy shit.
No, I'm vetoing that because I text some crazy shit.
Maybe if we get a on, then that's what you get. Maybe you just paid to see some screenshots, and we'll see. Also, Jason will show feet pictures.
Oh, I am a whore. I will do it. As long as the check clears, I don't care what you need.
I think we should I think we need a show Venmo, so people just see, like, if people just
we can actually create a Patreon.
I guess we could.
That's what we can do, not just a Venmo, an actual Patreon.
Yeah, we could, and just exclusive stuff there, and see what happens. I mean, people like weird shit. I saw someone who just like literally sells used tissues. So, I mean, if you guys want used tissues from mine, I got allergies. You just hit me up.
I got you. It's in a little bag.
I got you.
Look, all you just don't slide into Lisa's DMs because I know her husband and I don't want to go help bury a dead body. All right,
Mhm.
guys, leave her alone.
Yes. Very, yes. He's not lying.
Leave her
Yes.
Leave her alone. She's not into you. Don't worry about it. She
Yeah.
good. All right.
Yeah.
It
About 20 years too late, buddy.
it is very, very hard to get the dead body smell out of your clothes. I don't want to do it.
Oh my God. GPI, FBI, he's literally joking.
Sure.
Oh my
Also,
God.
next week, I think we're gonna do Creed 3 for next week.
Cleaner.
Yes.
Yes.
The Cleaner.
If Sam Jackson permits it.
What was the show that we wanted to do? We wanted to do
Willow.
Willow. Yes, Willow is a show. Why are you turning your nose up,
I
Lisa?
don't want to watch that show.
I don't either. I'm gonna have to watch.
I've
it this
actually
week.
seen some of it, and I think it's actually pretty good. But then again, I'm also a moron, so who knows?
At least you know your strengths.
Yeah.
Is this like set in stone? Or is this like tentative?
Well, we wanted to see what you wanted to do.
Okay,
But-
okay. Well, we can talk about that later. Keep going, keep going.
But also, if we're doing Creed 3, Jason and I think we want to do Rocky 3.
Oh,
The one with Mr. T in it. Ooh, I can get a mohawk. I was one of the first black people in Georgia to wear a mohawk, and I got clowned for it.
Is that a little known Black history fact?
yeah, I need some proof on that. I don't think
Dude,
that's.
I remember going to the Mall of Georgia because it was the year after high school. I was like, I'm going to, because it's when I shaved my dreads, or what they were going to be dreads, and I shaved a mohawk. I had a black person take a picture of me and laugh like,
Maybe
you like Mr.
they
T?
had a crush on you.
Maybe he did. He should have gave me money. Lisa, you have any other parting words for us on our 40-minute goodbye?
I know. Thanks for showing up, guys. Sorry it was a little crazy tonight, and yeah, don't waste your time with Slayers. It's literally just trash. So.
Well, thanks everybody for joining us once again. We appreciate you coming out here. Please be kind to one another and be considerate, and tip your servers and bartenders at least 20%, if not more, if you can afford it. And if you see Jaron, it's almost St. Patty's Day, which is like his Christmas. So get your Irish friends a gift for St. Patty's Day. They love that shit. Anyway,
This
We're
feels like
I thought you were going somewhere. Like, oh, give him like the knuckles or something.
yeah,
I thought
give him like his mother gave him a kiss in the chin with your fist. The old Irish chin kiss.